Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today is Sunday, November 2nd, and I have a few slides for y'all, and then I'm going to dive into the 2526 example site that Arnie built for us. This is a piece of tech that sits on top of our calendar invite server, which is a set of APIs that drive all this data here in the demo where we are using here for the NFL. So that said, let's get back kind of to the roots of the data and how this data was driven into these web interfaces. So Mandy is the organizer. She has a calendar client. This is a Google Calendar client. She essentially downloads, uploads the NFL game schedule into her personal client. She sends that data using a Dropbox concept. She basically maps everything off her personal or business calendar to create at calendarsnack.com. That is a email Dropbox. That email Dropbox takes the calendar invitations themselves, disassembles them, and gets them ready for a set of APIs. Those APIs here are illustrated in the organizer's calendar invite server's console, which is Mandy's, and then Mandy went out and had a custom NFL site built using the APIs of the calendar invite server, and Arnie built out this stack for her. So as I walk you through the demo series, the create, update, and cancels are all done with a personal calendar client talking to our API. The API is a Dropbox, and that data in the database of our calendar invite server on AWS is called using our various APIs for display and also our REST API for sending calendar invites, updating calendar invites. This REST API can be embedded into web, email, and applications for the sending, updating, and canceling of calendar invites. So that's a quick pitch on tech stacks and how this all works. Let's go to live. Here in the live session, I am going to use the example email address of Zach, and Zach is at techvader.com. I'm just going to type in the TechVader portion here, and we'll be done with the user input. And this user here happens to come by the site. He wants a few calendar invites in particular. And what he's going to do is go down here to not these two because he already has those on his calendar. You'll see that he sent those to himself here, Tennessee Titans and New York Giants. So those are the first two. I'm just going to click one button here, taking on the persona of Zach. He's going to get the Colts and he's going to get the Detroit Lions. So what's going to happen here in the live demo, you can see that I took on his persona, put in the email address. Anytime anybody is using the embedded calendar invite API, the calendar invites are sent with one click. So I just demonstrated that. You have two live calendar invites that were self-administrated by Zach the persona here. You'll see here, there's Zach at techvader.com. That is live data. The data got sent by our ability to originate and reassemble calendar invites on the fly out of our API for the REST calendar invite pipeline. So that said, I'm going to go here and take on the role play of Zach. He said yes, and he's going to say maybe. So we got a couple more games populated. Now that data is floating live in our APIs here in this interface called the Calendar Snack. The Calendar Snack essentially is the console for the organizer. You see Mandy right there. That is Mandy at techvader.com. And Mandy is going to view the events here for the second. All this data got pumped into the calendar invite server using her Google Calendar client I showed you all. Let's just stick to the script here. We're going to look for Steelers data. So Steelers, we'll go here to PITT, P-I-T-T in the search head. You'll see I can review this report. This report essentially is the same data that came off of Mandy's calendar, got inserted in here, and then using the REST API over here, Zach sent it to himself over here. That's where we're at with the demo to keep you all entertained of where we're at. So here's the data here. That's all mapped. So what I'm going to show you is obviously our ability to collect the calendar receipts. So let's just go back to here. I'm going to say maybe to this, and then I'm going to refresh this. And you're going to see from the accepted part, this data is going to be collected and it's going to say tentative. So first demonstration point in the battle card is I proved that we are collecting data from calendar invites downstream from anybody for millions of people on a daily basis by using this tech stack, which is sending live calendar invite receipts back to our API gateway. So that's how that works. So that's kind of function or steelman test number 1. And what I'm going to show y'all is back to what Mandy was doing here and back to Mandy's calendar. So let's go back to the calendar here, which I will get to. There's Zach's, and then Mandy's is over here. So what we're going to do here is this is Mandy's here on the left. This is Zach's over on the right. The in-between sections I just showed y'all is the calendar invite server console that's being driven by the same APIs. And those same APIs are driving this thing here, which is this glorious 25-26 season. So when I go back to the inbox of Zach's is here, you can see we're focused on Steelers. So I am going to update the Steelers data in Mandy's calendar and show y'all that this pipeline is real and it's working. So what would I do here? I'm going to grab some data from a note, and that note is going to be here, event message 1. I'm going to go ahead and jam it into this persona Mandy. Mandy is going to play through in this exercise of she's going to now update her original message for the Steelers versus Indianapolis with a surprise vendor booth number to anybody that's signed up for this game. She's going to hit save, and our pipeline is going to go through and update all this data. So here's the pipeline here. Mandy just went to her calendar. She used the update function. She saved it. It's going to be reprocessed by our API. It's going to hit the main database in the calendar invite server, and then all the APIs talking to it via her persona for Mandy under the organizer data. Her console is going to be updated, and then her custom site is going to be updated with the new data. And then anybody downstream that received a calendar invitation, gets the updated calendar invite. So that said, let's just kind of dive into what just happened here. You'll see that there's the updated data. There it is right there. That's 983. That Zach took on the persona here. He received a updated calendar invitation from Mandy. You'll see this updated game data here. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this screen here. That was for the Steelers. I scroll down and I'm looking for the Steelers game here. It should be just right in here, game details, and when I go to game details, you'll see that we included here update number 1, and then that proves that in evidence the APIs are working. And then I'm going to refresh this screen here. You can see that this has not been updated yet. And what I'm going to do here is refresh the screen, and you'll see that the data is being driven by Mandy, the event organizer, communicating with the calendar invite server pipeline. And these are live data sets being sent across the internet to our APIs and downstream to anybody who received the calendar invites. That's the end of the demo. Thanks for stopping by.